Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. Hey y'all. Hey, what's up? Ray all day here. I'm so glad you tuned in and listened to me talk about people on TV. Have y'all been watching? It just ended, y'all. New Jersey season 13. Was it 13? Yeah, 13. This is going to be the whole reunion review. Child, listen. I took some copious notes, child. Some copious notes. And woo, it was juicy. I mean, it was juicy. If you ain't seen it, child, after looking at this review, you might want to go see it just to give it a whole lot more context to what I'm about to give you. Because, child, it was some BS going on. I mean, you know, it was some BS going on, from all this Ozempic injections to folks buying houses with their girlfriends or boyfriend. Child, Paulie still married. And I'm like, what is the, after a certain age, women folks start settling pretty much. Dolores, girl, if you're watching, you settling. Girl. Now you doing that. What aren't you doing that a wife would? At this point, he wants you so bad. I don't know. See, if we stop giving so much of ourselves, then the person receiving wouldn't have a statistic of high crimes when it comes to cheating and being disrespectful to women. I'm not saying it's the woman's fault. However, we don't, and I really don't want to say woman because it really could go either way. But the typical story is he cheats so much, he get to do whatever he wants, and she just got to stand back and wait and watch and and I'm not saying tit for tat. All I'm saying is we don't have to put up with it, is all I'm saying. I don't like that. They've been living apart for up 10 years. If they wanted a divorce, it would have happened. Duh. But child, we just gonna move right along. Thanks again for tuning in. We're gonna start with part 1, child. It's funny how Joe Giudice calls right at the start where Doop-goop is, trying to get her bearings, talking about what's his name? Andy, my chest is beating, my heart's beating out of my chest. Girl, bye. That's guilt. And child, he called, nobody care what he called for. Anyway, Doop wants to close a chapter. Melissa wants a peaceful closure. And it was just them going back and forth all reunion long. Melissa was not as refined as she was. It seems like this is very serious considering the kids is older, they didn't seen too much and heard too much. You can't really shield the kids no more. So in my opinion, I think because it's just out in the open about everything, that Melissa just went for broke. She's like, F it, whatever happens, whatever said, whatever go. But I do like how they were a lot more refined and not so much into the name calling, because pretty much as long as Goop Doop and her mate can, talk about people and give insults, as long as they can lie on Joe and Melissa will continue to tell the truth on them. That's my stance. I think that maybe it's just me, but that's how I took it, because I do the same thing. As long as you lie on me, I'm going to continue to tell the truth on you. And hey, truth hurts. Ain't my fault. But that's it is what it is. But yeah, Goop Doop is acting a butt like she always do. I think she's slow in some way. I really do think she may have she had an IEP or a 504 plan. I don't know which is for, academic issues. Maybe a non-public school. I always group her and Portia together. The one, over there in Atlanta. They very much alike, and in the brains category and how they move in life. Manipulative and conniving, and out for self, and don't really make sense in the grand scheme of things, but it suits them and their purpose in life. As wrong as it is. Yeah, I see Louis divorcing her and getting alimony. That's what I see. Anywho, what's next in my notes, child? Because these notes. Yeah, so Marge says Louis hired Bo Dietl to investigate, and that did a floodgate of it. Almost everybody got something to say. Everybody on this side of the couch is being investigated. And just like Louis said within the show, Bo Dietl knows everything about everybody. And the next day, Bo Dietl knows this, Bo Dietl knows that. Well, damn. Are you Bo Dietl? I was at first. I was like, who? And I'm thinking, well, how does he see all that puffing and puffing? Now you're gonna catch yourself in some mess that you're trying to get out of. Everybody want to deny once they've already been caught up. No. You can't deny it because you've already included yourself, sir. Anywho, like I said, Marge says Louis hired Bo Dietl to investigate. She got proof. Child. So Dolores with a married man, like I said, she thinks he's still married. Child. All I know is if he cannot be with you in total, that's a problem. And I don't see that going anywhere unless the divorce is already final by now. Because if he's, talking trash to Frank about already have a ring and, meeting his parents and take, all these personal things, unless that doesn't mean anything. That's a little weird, but I would think that means a whole lot considering he's saying he's going to marry her. This is the first woman, Dolores, that makes him want to think about divorce. So, I mean, if she's making him think that, then I need to see proof and paperwork, not a court date. I need to see the actual decree, whatever it's called, whether it's from over there or over here. That needs to be dated, not or online as such, where I can see it in black and white, and that it is a valid situation, that you are actually a single person. Because maybe that's why his mama called her a hussy. See, all right, Dolores. So here we go with Doop-goop. She's thinking that Melissa likes Danielle so that Melissa can lure Danielle in her circle and, take Danielle away from Doop-goop. That's all. If you don't know, that's Teresa. Either it's Goop Doop or Doop-goop, Gump. Just easily to be persuaded and and just, don't make a whole lot of sense, saying things wrong because you just don't. Child, let me stop. Anyway, her name was Doop-goop or Goop-doop. Danielle versus Rachel, because OMG, what did I write? Because Goop-doop is a functional literate. It was a setup question. Yeah, to even think that you would want to be set up. I mean, Doop-goop is acting like Mimi Leaks. I mean, she gonna, do her right out of a job. I mean, it don't take, it's not much to do you on a reality show. Just you have enough life experience to get this together, girl. Anyway, it was just really weird that Doop-goop thought that the question Rachel asked about if the cousins, Melissa's kids and Doop-goop's kids are close. What's her name? Dolores said, I would have asked more so Melissa more so than asking Doop-goop, but it doesn't really matter. Either parent can attest to how close or not the cousins are, and apparently they're not. That is so messed up. Oh, I hate that stuff. I really do. But that's pretty much the end of part 1. We're going to move on right to part 2, child. Yeah, so part 2 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, season 13, reunion, part 2 of 3, y'all. So we come in where Goop-doop is saying that Joe and Melissa put her in prison. First it was Caroline, then it was possibly her cousins Kathy and Richie. Now it's Joe and Melissa. Everybody was, what's his name? Andrew was like, no, I think your husband did that. Child. Now the story is Joe and Melissa knows the person that tipped off the feds to the Judices. So in essence, they are responsible. She's so stupid. OMG. Anyway, Jackie is pretty much, she's healing. She still has some healing to go. She says she was hurt for not being allowed to be a housewife, but she knows that her healing is more important. And I believe that's why she came kind of hard, this season with Danielle at first, just trying to make a moment. And every scene she's in, she's trying to make a moment so she can stay relevant. It's, understandable. She doesn't want to lose out on what she, worked hard for. And essentially she lost it. But she's still on the show. So hopefully, I like to see everybody but Nosey, Aydin, and Doop-goop back on the show, to be honest. We're going to see what happened. What else happened in part 2, child? What else? Rachel wants a housekeeper because it's easier to manage, and she can't talk. She misses out on her, raising her kids more so because of all the other chores that she has to do. Girl. I mean, okay, they're both small. What, 2 and 1 and a newborn or whatever. I get it. But her housekeeper, she doesn't want a nanny. She'd rather have a housekeeper, someone to help clean and cook and do things like that while she spends more time with her babies. I understand. Good for her and her husband as a well-do provider. And, he can make it happen. That's so good. I don't like Nosey Aydin. She is messy AF and lashes out when confronted. Every time she's confronted with being, found out as the culprit in that whatever situation they're finding her out in, her only defense is she's retaliating. Girl, get out of here. So you're admitting to the BS and you're retaliating. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. Anywho, adoption is final with Rachel and her son. Apparently, Fuda's ex, his son's mother, his first son's mother, is on that stuff apparently, and she can't get off of it enough to even be a mother, even part-time. And I think there's the son is in high school or something. Anyway, he's young enough as a minor, but old enough to understand his mama is not putting him first. Pretty much she's out there in them streets, and that's more important. That has her attention. That's why I said what I said before. So whatever it is has her attention other than that son, and he's upset about it. Let's just hope that he redirects all of that angst in a more of a positive way. And he has some good role models. I like Rachel. I like her husband. I like her family that came through to help out and see the family. I like that. I like that setup. Again, we hate to see the kids suffering. We just want to make it better, make it right. I get it. Take care of that, y'all. Take care of that. And it looks like they are. Anywho, next we got Rachel says birth mom was contacted by Louis. Fuda had his pack of paperwork and he said, got your ass, fool. And Fuda is ghetto and he is from the streets. I think Louis is too, but he's more bougie with it. Fuda, he's less bougie, but he knows how to handle himself and his business. He won't ever put his business and family in jeopardy. He'd rather get your ass the right way, tell you off, but still keep it, to where he won't put his family in jeopardy. So I like that. I hope they get to stay. I hope they get to stay for next year, for next season. But yeah, Fuda had his manila envelope full of stuff because apparently, so we got Louis investigating, of course, Joe and Melissa. Then the other people definitely is Marge and her family. Now the Fudas, that's the third family. What's next on that couch is Frank. And I think Frank is going to have something to say too, if I'm not mistaken. Child. There's some BS going on, but part 2 had it going on, child. It was so much back and forth. Melissa was mocking Goop. Doop-goop was, trying to take pot shots at Melissa in line, talking about you never invited me nowhere. Melissa had receipts on that to refute what Doop-goop was saying. It was obvious, and then Doop-goop was getting caught in her own lies and webs of vocabulary. And child, I don't know what to say really. I'm like, what? Man. So anyway, Fessler is glowing. She got the Ozempic. She got her face remastered or whatever. Did she say hair plugs or something? I don't know what else, child. Her feet, girl, I don't know. Her eyes, LASIK, I don't know. But she is getting work done because she wants to stay on that show. She's a comic relief that is pretty much, dry begging, but Oh, she reminds me of Leanne with that. Like, I must be on this show, but Leanne is very pushy. Luann de Lesseps. Yeah, Leanne is from Real Housewives of Dallas, child. I'm glad they got her off of that show. Wait till I get into Dallas, child. Wait till I get into Dallas. Anywho, yeah, so what else is in part 2? Is that it? Yeah, child, that's pretty much it. The guys getting ready, and at the end of part 2, they showing the guys that's gonna be coming on for part 3, and child, they got 2 rooms. Louis walking around with no shirt on, and they're like, the hell? Why again? What? Why is you the only one with no shirt on? And you ain't all that. That's all I want to know. He's just making people uncomfortable. Oh shoot. Anyway, so the guys getting ready and they talking their ish. They don't know if they gonna bring this up or bring that up. And child, Joe brought up the fact that Louis ruined another business relationship with a good friend of what's her name, to Doop-goop, and how Doop-goop and Dina ain't really rocking like that because of it, because of Dina's man, getting duped by Louis. But Dina wouldn't appreciate her husband being brought into this, so Melissa kind of helped shut that down. It's like, no, we're not gonna go there. But another issue that came up was talking about Frankie. They're gonna get more to that in part 3. But yeah, Louis is screaming. He's, as he's coming in out the limo, so excited to be there. Just like Melissa said, he couldn't wait to film. Child, walking around with no shirt on. Why was he in the black Uber screaming as he came up to get ready for this reunion? Child. Anyway, we're going into part 3. Part 3 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. Child, I got my notes. I am ready because it was explosive. Woo! It was explosive. Child, let me tell you. So we come in, Joe's heart beating out of his chest. What's his name? Andy reminded him, that's just what your sister said at the beginning. He was like, yeah. But Joe's is beating for a different reason. Anywho, Paulie's mom, they're referring back to the trip and what Paulie's mom said about Frank's pictures. She was like, is this your ex? Oh, no. This ain't gonna work. I think it may have something to do with him looking like he may be a letter folk, because a lot of old people ain't really with the new times. So I'm watching you, old lady, but we ain't probably gonna see much of you. Anywho, now they're bringing up Louis tried to connect with Joe with the PJs. Louis wanted to, straighten that comment out. Why do you wait all this time to straighten that shit out when it's been a point of contention ever since your dumb ass said it? Ain't nobody go see. You couldn't say nothing like that about any deceased family member of mine, especially when we got the type of beef we got. Don't. See, certain people just don't play. Anywho, so he's trying to connect with the PJ, just saying that he put on any pair of PJs just to, kind of bring the aura of Poppy, or whatever his name is, Papa Gorga, rest in peace. I remember the mom's name is Antonia because that's who Melissa named her daughter after, but I don't remember Gina. I don't know, child, but Papa Gorga, rest in peace, just like Mama Gorga, rest in peace. I just don't appreciate that on their behalf. Like, who am I? And it was just weird as F. And he shouldn't do nothing like that again, because anything that's sincere does not need to be explained. Just saying. So Melissa owns Doop-goop by everything Doop-goop was saying. She was combative with the truth. She was aggressive with giving Doop-goop some straightening. And yeah, she was a little obnoxious, but hell, she's sick and tired of the bullshit. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Shoot. Child. They said they're done. And how many times did Doop-goop say, "You're not my family, you're not my brother, I disown you," all this, that, and the third, to, to just, you can't disown somebody. That's what you can't do. Your family, just don't mess with them. I'm so happy the season is over. I really am. But it ain't over, girl, because I got some more stuff to say. So they're talking about the hazing of Fuda and the calendar picks and Frankie versus Paulie, right? But there is no more Frankie versus Paulie. I mean Frank versus Paulie, because they've grown to understand each other a lot more. Frank is very wise and he's not going to mess up Dolores's relationship. Dolores pulled back as she needed to, according to her and Paulie's relationship. Dolores is good like that. When she's a good woman, like me, we learn how to talk to our mates. We learn how to take care of our mates according to their needs and what we, add into that. They love it. Sex is bomb, just saying. And, it's just a matter of respecting your mate and giving your mate what they want and make them want you by any means necessary, by the food you cook, by, how good you clean the house, all that good loving, all, looking good and smelling good and representing when you away and when you out the house. That's what they love about their mate. That's what I believe in. Well, that's what's true to me. That's all I know how to do. But yeah, good for them. I'm happy. I just want him to get a divorce. So I didn't really talk too much about Bill and Nosey. They didn't really have much, but they did address him going to the pool house as soon as he came home. And he just needs to decompress and not have so much going on when he has so much going on at work. And he needs whatever time he needs to decompress. And now she joins him in there, and they decompress together until he goes in the house and meets with the I mean, to me it sends an off message to the kids, to be honest. He can come in and address them for a good 30 minutes and then go back out and come back for another 30. I mean, I don't think he should just immediately go and not address his family when he comes home. To me, it gives a negative connotation, in my opinion. Just saying. So Dolores says, "Don't talk about my son when he ain't here," because she don't want her son mixed in with none of that BS. She said pretty much she's appreciative of Louis for giving him a job. She thanked him 2 or 3 times and said they are good. He doesn't work with him anymore. Frankie and Louis are good. That's that on that. But Joe wanted to talk about it because it lends and adds to the BS that he went through. So Dolores told Joe, I don't want no problems. The black Dolores came out, girl. She was like, listen, pointing and putting her hand up and listen, I'm telling you right now, I don't want no problems. I done said, don't bring my kid into this. And I don't care how old my kid is. I don't think Frankie's 20 something. Okay, don't bring my kids into this mess unless you got something positive to say or something really nice. Don't talk about my kids, and I don't want my kids involved in this mess. He is good, we are good, and that's that. I heard that, Dolores, but Frank was like, Frank was on the opposite of that. But Dolores said, don't talk about my kid. She didn't have to tell Frank to tell, no. She ain't got to. She's known, what's his name? Joe Gorga longer than she's known Frank, as far as I'm concerned. So, however long it's been, the point is, she said, don't talk about my kid. And I don't blame her. He good, and that's that on that. When he ain't good, he ain't good. For right now, he good. So they get into Bo Dietl, y'all. They get into Bo Dietl. And child, almost everybody on this show is being investigated. But before we go there, Danielle finds out that she was set up after, they were trying to convince her, they meaning Melissa and Marge and what's her name, Rachel, that pretty much you were lied to for you to bring out the information. And you did their dirty work. And because it was already solidified and talked about already. So, at first Danielle on stage was like, no, I don't feel set up. But then behind, when they went to break, they caught her whispering, I was set up. Girl, you could have wrote it on paper versus saying it, because you might. See, people, you might. Whispering doesn't make a difference. You might. Just FYI. But yeah, Bodito, back to him. Child, why did they get a call talking about security is here sent by Bodito? Then Lou was like, yeah, we've been getting death threats. Well, why weren't they here earlier? Was your life being was the threat taken seriously just 3 hours ago? How about when you arrived? Why weren't your security there then? This is all a tactic for child. This is just a mess. And I hope they all come back, except for them two that I said. But I hope that they come back and it is even discussed even more about Danielle getting set up. Danielle needs to, if Danielle ain't coming back, she needs to address them for setting her up. And too bad Danielle didn't get in the mix in part 3, because she punk bitched out and just took it, hoping that she would come back the following. I don't like that. Come on, Danielle. Your balls is out the door. What happened to that? What happened to your balls being out the door? I'm just saying, what happened? Anywho, I'm done with this reunion. Marge pulled out her arsenal, child, and proved her son was being harassed. I mean, pretty much everybody is being harassed. And all of this is because Doop-goop is goop-dooping. She even found her a lick, or he found him a lick. Like I said, I think she's going to end up paying him alimony at the end of this, because they are not going to be together forever. They will not. Like Marge said, you're the criminal. And they're already investigating Louis. So, girl, you sure can pick them, huh, Teresa? You sure can pick them. Or are they picking you? I think they're picking you, girl. They're picking you out of the lineup, child. Girl, be careful. But whatever. That was it, y'all. Real Housewives of New Jersey. Season 13. It's over. Lucky 13. That's it. That's all. That's it. I hope you liked it. If you ain't watched it, y'all, go check it out. It was pretty good. For real. For real. But yeah, I'm about to go. But please like, please comment, please subscribe if you haven't, and share it. Let folks know what's going on over here. I'll catch y'all later. See ya. Okay.